Listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kalada Korubasibo, and we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we're active on X, Nigeria Info PH. So somehow we are still focused on the National Assembly. Now, we talked about the upper chamber the last hour. Now it's time to look at the lower chamber, green chamber, as it is called. All right. So welcome. All right. Remember, we're live, Nigeria Info PH, and we are very much active. This time, I want us to look at the another bill that has killed the first reading. It is a bill initiated by Imo Ikenga Ogochiere, a lawmaker from Imo State, I think Owerri North, if I remember vividly. And he has come out to say or argue and has proposed it as a bill which now has been seconded by other lawmakers, and it has passed first reading, that executives should have a 6-year single tenure or term so as to be able to fight corruption in Nigeria. Now, you would agree with me that corruption is something that is eating deep into the crevices of the country called Nigeria. It is eating deep into the marrow of Nigeria, and we usually will talk about corruption at the government level, but on the streets, in the markets, in the various business environments, corruption has eaten deep into the nerves of the country. And I'm thinking, we've tried everything: EFCC, ICPC, change structure, amend constitution, military, civilian, democratic. Inside democratic, we've tried parliamentary, we are now doing presidential, amending federalism, but it looks like the problems are still the same. The problems resemble themselves right from 1960, when we gained independence from British rule. And I'm not saying we should stop trying to find solutions, but this is one solution that has been proposed, and according to the proposer, that this will help stem corruption. And then I'm looking how. Okay, so maybe presidents, governors, local government chairmen not coming for a second term will spoil their creativity, would want to make them leave an indelible mark so that Nigerians would remember them. 1. 2, it will also mean that they like their successors to always take over from them. I don't even know why, but it also mean that they will be able to plant a successor, because remember, it is going to be a single term, so they may not wield the power they think they have. I mean, I'm looking at it from or that they currently have. I'm looking at it from that angle as well. So it means that they will do well. They would want to ensure that they bring the kind of development that would enable their successors or political friends coming to office and coming to power as well. There is also the talk of the political party putting their best foot forward to ensure that the party is represented very well, because after every single term there is going to be another election, and it's not going to be the power of incumbency. If I were coming for a second term, I would want to do my best and my all. When I say my best and my all, you understand what I'm talking about politically. I mean, if we make reference to Tony Okocha's statement, or to Chijioke Ihunwo, or to Ivan's BP, if we make references to those statements, then we can then say, that if I was coming for a second term, I'll do everything within my powers to ensure that I make it back into office. But when I'm not coming for a second term, I may not be as present as I would have if I were. So it means that there may likely not be the power of incumbency. Do you think this will support development? Do you think this will help push, our local governments, our states? At least let's have the basic amenities. Let's start celebrating steady power supply. Let's start celebrating water connection, to houses in a particular location. Let's start talking about good roads. Do you think this will cause all of that? Because as seen on the leadership newspaper, or in the leadership newspaper, House of Representatives has passed through the first reading a bill seeking to amend the 1999 Constitution to provide for a single term of 6 years for the offices of the President, state governors, and local government area chairmen. Now, the proposed legislation is sponsored by the member representing Ideato North, Ideato South Federal Constituency of Imo State. I got it wrong, so I think I'm getting it right now. Honorable Ikenga Ugochiere and 50 others. Now, the bill seeks to alter Section 7, 135, 137, 180, and 182, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Clause 2 seeks to amend Section 2 of the Principal Act by inserting a new subsection 5 immediately after the extant subsection 4 and before the extant subsection 5 as follows. A holder of the office of a local government chairman shall vacate his office at expiration of a period of 6 years commencing from the date such holder was elected into office. Clause 3 of the bill seeks to amend Section 135 subsections 2, 2a, and 3 of the Principal Acts by replacing the word 4 with 6 to read, subject to the provisions of subsection 1 of this section, the President shall vacate his office at the expiration of a period of 6 years, single tenure, commencing from the date when A. In the case of a person first elected as President under this Constitution, he took the oath of allegiance and the oath of office, and B. In any other case, the person last elected to that office under the Constitution took the oath of allegiance and oath of office, or would, but for his death, have taken such oaths. Now, 2A, in the determination of the 6-year term, where a rerun election has taken place and the person earlier sworn wins the rerun election, the time spent in the office before the date of the election was annulled shall be taken into account. 3. If the Federation is at war in which the territory of Nigeria is physically involved and the President considers that it is not practicable to hold elections, the National Assembly may, by resolution, extend the period of 6 years mentioned in subsection 2 of this section from time to time, but no such extension shall exceed 6 months at any one time. Now, clause 4 of the bill seeks to amend section 137 of the Principal Acts by deleting paragraph B and renumbering appropriately. Clause 5 of the proposed legislation seeks to amend section 180 of the Principal Act by deleting the extant subsections 2 and 3 and replacing it with new subsections. So what do you make of this? Will this solve the problem? Will this solve the problem of corruption, bad governance, lack of creativity in governance? Will this be, what are the pros? What are the cons? What are the positives? What are the negatives? Yet again, do you think the executives, whether at the federal level, the state level, or the local government level, would agree to this? I understand that the Senate or the National Assembly can decide to veto, but do you think they would do or make this a law without challenging or without being challenged, I beg your pardon, by the executives? Do you think this is one way to weaken the executive arm of government? Because once again, the executive arm of government, whether it be at the national level or the state level or even the local government level, wield so much power that sometimes they, in politicking, they are being afraid of. All right, so I would like to hear from you, but first a commercial break. To stay tuned.
Stay with us. 92.3 Headline News.
Let's take a look at the headline news. President Tinubu approves 70,000 naira new minimum wage for workers. Chairman Rivers NLC reacts to 70,000 naira new minimum wage. Bill to establish agency to conduct local government elections. Skills first reading. Court reserves judgment in Emeka Beke-led Rivers APC suit against National Executive. 12 suspects accused of killing police inspector in Kana, River State, arraigned. On the foreign scene, U.S. President faces new questions over his candidacy in November election. Details in the 6 p.m. bulletin. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Kada Kurubatbo. Do stay tuned.
This is Hard Facts.
All right, good afternoon still. You're listening to Hard Facts at 92.3 Nigerian Info. Time is fast spent, really fast spent. We have been talking about the House of Representatives scaling a bill past the first reading, and the bill says there should be a single term of 6 years for president or for the office of the president, the office of the governor, and the office of the local government chairman. Will that have any effect on governance or even development in Nigeria? All right, 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007. WhatsApp number 0809 0306416. I'm going to take my first call, and then I would like to get your thoughts as we push. But this one says, good evening, Kalada. The proposal of the House of Reps member is just a waste of time and one of their ways of distracting Nigerians from the real issue bedeviling this country. It didn't take President Tinubu 2 days to rain down poverty and hardship in Nigerians. They know the real problem of this country, and they're deliberately refusing to tackle it. They're just busy chasing shadows, square pegs and round holes. Okechukwu Michael from Rumigbo. But then here is Clinton, who's calling from Bori. Clinton, welcome.
Yeah, Kalada, thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome.
6 years is way too much to be proposed by the legislation. I think it's really, really unfortunate that they are now looking at things that are not important. He proposed 6 years. 1, 2, even the 4 years of them tired of. I want to propose 6 years. So I think that Syrians need to, because it does not help through more corruption.
Clinton, please call back. I can't hear you very well. Origi from Ogbogu, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good evening.
Yeah, welcome.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm great. Yeah, welcome. Thank you.
See, all the politicians are not angry with us because they are finding means to siphon our money. They go for 8 years. The first 4 years, they use it to work. The next other 4 years is for them to carry go because they're not voting for them again. Now they want to make it 6 years. That is the end of Nigeria. Because they will start looting from the first year, knowing that they are not coming back for second time. it is very, very, very unfortunate that the people there cannot make a law that will benefit the common man. They're only doing it to benefit themselves.
All right.
Because as I'm talking to you, not all of our children are going in to be the executive of the government. No. They are just romaring every time.
Origi.
Yes.
Do you think this is in any way an attempt to extend, for those who are already doing 4 years, I mean, this current term of leaders, especially at the national and the state levels, do you think this is an attempt to, indirectly give them half of second term without an election?
Because some of them will not go for second tenure, that is why they want to make it one tenure and end up with the money of the state or the federal government. The 4 years they are even going to 2 months. It should be 3 years. What you cannot do in the first year, second year, you can't do it in 10 years.
Okay.
I'm telling you. So 3 years is enough for them to go. That is one. Then two, the next other thing I heard you read is the House of the Red Chamber coming to make a law for local government elections.
That's an old conversation. Wait till open season to contribute. Let Barry welcome.
Colorado, good evening. Yeah. Due to create a commission that will conduct local government elections straight through first reading. I think this is one of the things I was saying my first call when I called it. I think this is what I was trying to refer to. A commission that can fairly conduct elections.
We've passed that. Let them. That was for 4 o'clock. Mira from Okrika, welcome.
Hi, Kodibi. Thank you. Maybe, Jonathan proposed something like this and they turned it down. And now they brought it up again. Maybe I just think everything, in fact, everything concerning this is working together for the good of these leaders. Just like the former previous caller said. As you come in, you just got one shot, just one chance to collect as much as you can and leave. You're not coming back again. Them coming for second tenure gives us a little hope that at least they will do one or two for us. Trying to just to make us vote for them again. But this time around, if we vote for them once, they just got one shot at it and they lose as much as they can and they lose. And that money they collect, they are not using it in any way to recompensate. Now, do you know how much it takes? How much these our governors and our president, how much they use to contest election, not to recontest, if I may put it that way. They spend billions of dollars, if I'm mistaken. But see, this time around, they don't even need to waste these funds and they get it, they go with it. That's it.
All right.
So there's a chance that even when they spend those billions, they might not even win. They may lose. Just take a case in point, our former governor, the kind of money is spent for just to be a president or something like that, and that kind of money, it is mind-boggling. So use that kind of money and it's under probability you may or you may not win. So this bill just works together.
But now looking at what you've said, saying they would want to coup all that they spend during election, it will also mean people will be very careful before they run for elections, thereby making it less cumbersome. And secondly, if you go there and you loot and Nigerians see that you loot, remember there will be no power of incumbency, then that would mean that your political party, not like there would be no power, maybe a reduced power of incumbency. That would mean that your political party may not come in again, like we saw PDP make way for APC.
Look, KDB, if they come to the contest and they lose, let me use this scenario. It does not mean their political party will not come back again, honestly. Because what is the possibility that the person that comes in will do better? It's all about the money. When you look at it, it's just all about the money, how much you can dole out. But KDB, for me, I think this bill does not have any good for us Nigerians. And it does nothing to us. It didn't worsen our situation.
All right. Thank you. I've got Ifeanyi from Egbeda. Ifeanyi, welcome.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Speaker.
I'm not Mr. Speaker. I'm Kala Dakorubatubo, but welcome.
Oh, good evening.
Yeah.
I want to comment on the president carrying the tenure to 6 years.
It's not the president now. It is the what do you call it now? The House of Reps.
House of
that
Reps
have deliberated.
Their seat to 6 years. It's too bad. That is the only committee for them to take money once and went to their various places. Open 3 years, I want to extend it to 6 years. It's too bad.
All right.
Please.
All right.
They should not even try to do that. It will affect us.
All right.
They are all human. I think they are only coming there for their own interest. And for them to put their pocket and run their way.
Okay.
It's too bad.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much. I've got Daniel from Imogate. Daniel, welcome.
Good evening, my brother Kala.
Yeah, greetings to you.
Man of the people.
I greet you.
Yes. Also, I am calling from. Gutinia is making waves. Yes. I heard him. But that is not our problem.
Okay.
Democratic governance in Nigeria or in Africa as a whole, we borrowed this from either US or any Western world. But it doesn't work like that here in Nigeria or Africa. Obasanjo, yes, he himself benefited from it, but later he suggested that Africans should define their own way of governance because it is not helping us. All these 6 months, 6 years, 8 years, what is the people's mandate? They just switch it over. The whole thing is not transparent. When you go to court, they say you have no evidence. Africans must have to define their own way of election. All this is you are saying doesn't work. Right. Yes, military is not good, but I am telling you, during military, our refineries were working. The express road, anyway, express road, they did it. Okay. What has the civilian democratic governance or whatever, what have ordinary man, I am talking about ordinary man, what has he benefited from it? Let us define a way in Africa to, govern ourselves, just like Obasanjo said last. Chinke Daniel Imogeto.
All right, Chinke Daniel, thank you very much for your thoughts there. The proposal by the House of Rep members is just a waste of time and one of their ways of distracting Nigerians. Okay, I think I've read that one from Okechukwu Michael, who is at Rumigbo. But let's take this one. It says, let me make my prediction. The bill will go through. Then Bat will say it would start from 2027, and since he was not elected under this new law, it would not apply to him. He would win, and we will get to keep him until 2031. Then he would be our own Nigerian Mobutu Sese Seko, Yoweri Museveni, and their friends. What a way to look at it. What a way to look at it. Anyways, keep moving. This one says, if single term 6 years is something to go by, immunity should be removed from the executive and salaries of the politicians should be the same with public servants and nothing like allowance. There must be a monthly audit, all levels of government before receiving next allocation. Ogu June justice for that one. This one says, good evening, Mr. Kebat. About the proposed bill for 6 years single tenure president, governors and local government council chairmen, I disagree with the House of Reps because this is not the first time of such bill and it won't change anything. Awanate Clinton West. And this one is from Godwin Iyeda from Ajib Ada George. To me, a single 6-year term is neither here nor there. It will only subtract a 2-year of corruption from these selected leaders. Oh, that's another way to look at it. Another way. This one says, good evening. This proposed law is totally unnecessary. It is a deliberate attempt to distract Nigerians. Is this the solution to the hunger and hunger in the land? Felix Nwaigwe from JRA. Felix is asking. This was says, Canada, my brother. I supported the single term of 6 years when President Jonathan first advanced it. For me, it will go a long way in checking the executives and their excesses. If you perform good, your successor will build on that. If you don't perform, leave and never come back again. We elect another. Not where we waste and lose a whooping 8 years with incompetent and insensitive executives, because they will always come back for second time. I support the bill. Uche Wachuku Ingboba. Now, I get this argument of government is a continuity. If your government is bad, someone will come and clean it up after 6 years. If your government is good, someone will come and continue. But will someone really continue? I mean, we've had very wonderful projects in River State that have not been continued. For instance, the monorail. For instance, the Songhai Farm. For instance, there's so many wonderful projects that could have taken River State up ladder, but those things were not touched on. So is that going to be a continuity, really? Talking about bad government, we already have a clause in the Constitution that says if a government is not performing, you impeach the governor. I mean, just say gross misconduct and voila, the president or the governor or even the local government chairman is gone. Why is it that difficult? It's not rocket science, right? But anyways, I get your point, Uche Wachuku. I've got to go and read Melody's mess. Okay, you were correcting me saying Idea to North. I've gotten the correction. Thank you very much for that. I was trying to remember. This one says the new electric commission. I wonder where the personnel are coming from. Okay, I think I've read that, but that's not my conversation for the hour. This one says, good evening, Canada. The 6-year single term for president governors is a good one and will deepen democracy, but should include 6-year single term for Senate, House of Reps, and state assemblies. However, LG chairman should be 4-year single term. Best in Port Harcourt. Best. This says, good evening, Canada. I don't know why our lawmakers like to come up with frivolous laws that will continue to perpetuate them in office. The problem of Nigeria is not the tenor of political office orders. Rather, it is to have strong institutions that will make this country an egalitarian society where no one will be above the law. Iboroma from Imboba. Asido Koe says, Nigerian politicians and fraudulent behaviors. The 6-year single tenor appears not to be applied to the rep members. Why? They shouldn't forget to bar those to what? I don't get that part. To bar those who finish from state as governors to continue as rep, or to bar. I think he meant bar. To continue as rep members. I will surely farm this country one day. It is turn by turn, as Setikoe. The single-term proposed law is another way to distract Nigerians from the woeful performance of our leaders. Let them allow the 4-year term for now. Oiko Tanaka. So I guess a lot of people are saying, they're just saying all these things so we can debate and forget the fact that the price of food is very expensive. Anyways, I'm not a purveyor of bad news or a prophet of doom. But I don't know. I do think with the 70,000 naira now proposed and agreed by the leadership of Labour, by the way, I do think that should be taken to the various ESCOs of the various organs, and there would be some regularization or acceptance. And if that is the case, then I think 70,000 will fly. But if it's not the case, then we may just have certain issues, right? But however, I do think as this money has increased, there is the possibility that the market people would also hike the price. I mean, this is Nigeria. Interesting, right? I'm going to read one more message, and this one says, good evening, Canada. Good evening, Nigeria Info. I support the one term of 6 years in office for President, Governor, etc. as long as we have strong independent institutions to checkmate corruption and serve impeachment for failing executives. One term will help reduce waste in sponsoring and conducting elections and also reduce the violence in forceful re-elections. Alex from Woji. I would have to step on the brakes once again. It is time for a commercial break, and after the commercial it will be time for the major news. Just stay tuned.